everyone, and welcome to Storage. Guess what? I'm the host, and my name is Libbie, and this podcast is called Storage, and I am in a hotel room, and you can see an air conditioner behind me, and the reason I know you can is because there are many programs out there that you can buy to hook up your phone so you can see what you are currently recording. Well, guess what? I have technology beat because behind this camera, I have a mirror. So I can just look down like this and I can see air conditioning unit. I can see beautiful La Quinta Inn curtains. Alrighty. I am in Denver, Colorado. I came here to visit Harry, or Harold as I sometimes like to call him. Harold is currently at work, and I'm here alone, enjoying being alone. Because when you're on tour, you're not alone a lot. So I like to be alone, and I'm getting some good alone time while Harold is at work. I went to Goodwill earlier. Because at this particular hotel, which is, I would consider it maybe a 2-star hotel, maybe a 1.5-star hotel, the chair that they had in here was absolutely horrific. So I went to Goodwill to buy a cheap little chair that I could use while I'm here, because I'm staying here about 4 to 5 days, right? And I go up to the counter with the chair, and the nice person checking me out says, "Hello, would you like to use your senior citizen discount today?" And I replied, "Huh?" And she says again, "Would you like to take advantage of your senior citizen discount?" And I replied, "Isn't that only for senior citizens?" And she said, "Yes." And then I took the chair that I had brought up there and set it down on the ground and sat down in the chair and said, "Do you think I'm a senior citizen?" And she goes, "Oh, just forget it. I'll give you the senior citizen discount anyway." And I go, "That's cool. Thanks." I was glad to get that 15% off. But what I am going to say is that I think senior citizens are, I think 65 is considered a senior citizen, maybe a 62. And I don't feel like I look like a senior citizen. To say that I was taken aback is an understatement. Would you like to use your senior citizens discount? First of all, I don't have a senior citizens discount, but I love discounts. And if you're going to hook me up, baby, hook me up. We took a negative and turned it into a positive. And it's not that I think that senior citizens are negative. It's just that I'm 49 and senior citizen years, I have maybe 10 to 15 years. And I know that I am always referring to myself as elderly, but this young person at the Goodwill doesn't know that I do this bit about being elderly. Just wanted to share that with you. So how's your day going? Hope it's great. It is currently a Wednesday night, the night before this podcast is to air on the internet. and that is on YouTube and on the Apple Podcast or Spotify. There's a lot of places that this podcast go, and I'm not sure of all the places because all I do is just say, hey, put it on all these places in the website, and it does it. Maybe you could tell me where you're listening from. I know some people listen to Stitcher. I know some people listen to Apple Podcasts, and I know some people listen to Spotify. But apart from that, where else do you listen? If you don't watch it, where else do you listen? Because I'd like to know. And I could probably go on that website right now, and it'll tell me every listener from every place and where they're from and their age. But being that I am a senior citizen, that'll be hard for me. If you're looking at my beautiful blouse and wondering, hey, where'd you get that beautiful blouse? I got it at Walmart. And I believe it's a swimsuit cover-up. Not certain. I found it by the purses. You know, there's always like purses, belts, strange other maybe hip packs. Well, this was by there, and it was only in the 2X, 3X size, and I got it because look at it. I mean, it is really gorgeous. You're going to see me at the swimming pool this summer having this thing on over my swimming suit. And then my shirt, of course, says, "You've got a friend in Texas." And I bought this while I was in Austin. That's why it says Austin. I don't want to start this podcast off complaining, but I do have another complaint. We've gone to a couple Waffle Houses in the past couple of months. I love Waffle House. Used to work there, was a waitress overnight, worked I believe it was 11 to 6 a.m. shift, or maybe it was 10 to, I don't remember. Love Waffle House. But what I don't love is that you order a delicious waffle or delicious raisin toast or delicious wheat toast or delicious white toast. You order that, and then they either involuntarily spread margarine on your bread, or they give you a little container and put it on your waffle. Here's my problem with margarine. It's not good. It's not good. It's not butter. If you're going to create delicious foods like a pecan waffle, a chocolate chip waffle, just a regular waffle, toast, delicious eggs, bacon, sausage, and then you're going to slap margarine on it, you might as well close your doors, Waffle House. Why would you do that? It's kind of like that saying that goes, and men have said this to me before on the internet, it's like putting lipstick on a pig. I don't know exactly what that means, but I feel like it's in the same kind of thing. Like, you're going to create something so delicious. You're going to pour a batter into a waffle iron, close the top, wait for it to cook, place that on a plate, and then put margarine on it? Huh? No. Margarine is disgusting. And I know there's people out there who still have bought into this rhetoric from margarine, big margarine, that think that margarine is healthy for you. Well, it's not. You might as well be eating butter because margarine is disgusting. And I'm not here to say, oh, I'm a dietitian, eat butter instead. I'm here to say that if you're going to choose between the two, pick butter because margarine tastes awful. Don't know what else to say about that. Ladies and gentlemen, guess what, folks? Looks like there's still people out in the world that eat margarine. Whether it be Parquet, I can't believe it's butter, a random great value, or Save-A-Lot margarine, they're still placing it on their food. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're still putting margarine, stop before I wanted it to. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're still putting margarine on your food, go ahead and stop today. I'd even go insofar as to say that in this country, we need to ban margarine. Ban it. All I'm saying, Waffle House, is you have delicious food, cool atmosphere, hard workers, okay looking uniforms. And then you're going to put margarine on your food. Close your doors. Close your doors, Waffle House. Got a couple of messages here. I went to my Patreon, and 2 people had sent me a message and said, hey, honey, sent you a voicemail. So those 2 people get preferential treatment because they are on my Patreon. Uh-oh. Let's see what it says. Okay.
Hey, honeys, Ronald here. First off, you know that I love you. I'm obsessed with everything what you do, so that's a guaranteed. But love seeing you out on tour. Kind of pissed they ran out of meet and greets, but glad you got my shirt that I made you, and I've been hanging on to that bitch forever. But I was just calling because one of the calls sparked the conversation of, being obsessed with celebrities and going to concerts and stuff. And in 2019, that was like the year of my life. Obviously, we met for the first time on Tammy's tour. I saw and met Janet Jackson. I was front row of Mariah Carey. I went to see TLC. I mean, I had so many concerts that year. It was the time of my life. Then the following year, obviously 2020, nothing. 2021, nothing. And so I kind of caught on that I need to continue to schedule things in my life, whether I can afford them or not, the things that make me happy. So this year I'm doing Janet Jackson again. I did it, the Trailer Trash Tammy tour with you. I'm going to see Shania Twain. I'm going to see Beyonce, Elton John, Phil Collins, and so I guess my advice is that everybody, the things that make you happy are what keep you going. And so even if you can't afford it, I took an improv class, just do it because you have something to look forward to. And okay, you might be broke, but you're going to be having the time of your motherfucking life because, you might have to bleep that out, but you know what I'm saying. Anyhow, just go and do it, honeys. But just wanted to call and say hey. But love everything that you do and love this podcast. And I love you. Love you, honeys.
Ronald. If you don't listen to Slop City, the podcast that I do with Tina D-Ball, we have had a longtime listener named Ronald. I call him Ronald. His name's Ronnie. He's a mailman. And he always has been very supportive of Slop City, and now he's very supportive of storage. And at the Cleveland show, Ronald bought me or had made for me a T-shirt that said Boatman's Bank. And as a child in the St. Louis area, Boatman's Bank was the bank. And I think it may have been a bit on Slop City where we talked about Boatman's Bank, but as far as banks in my childhood, Boatman's really, it's either Boatman's or it's Mercantile. Those are the two banks that really shaped my childhood. How can a bank shape your childhood? I don't know. I just remember being in the car with my mom and her saying, hey, we're going to head down to Boatman's. I got to make a deposit or withdraw, because that's what you did in the days. You don't have all this newfangled technology where you send a Venmo or a Zelle or a Cash App. You had to go into the bank. And oftentimes, if you'd go through the drive-thru with the drive-thru teller, the teller would then see me, a child, in the car with my mom and get one of those lollipops that I think they're called safety pops, where it's a lollipop with a lollipop stick, but it had a curvature, so you could either stick your finger in there. And I think maybe those were on there in case you started to choke, and then your parent could take their finger and go, and pull it out. I don't know if that's why they call them safety pops. I'm not sure. But, if you have a child and you're worried about them choking on a lollipop, get those, because then you can, again, if the child starts choking, stick your finger in the child's mouth and grab the little hook. Speaking of choking, swallowed incorrectly. You might say, hey, why didn't you bleep that? Because I'm here to keep it real. I was just choking, and I'm not okay. Cheers. Ronald, through the years, has made some of the most incredible personalized gifts for me and for Tina. And on Slop City, we also had an episode where we spoke about when you go into a Chinese restaurant, and at the front, often when you pay, they'll have one of those cardboard things that has slots for quarters. And it's like, help this child who has cancer. And you could put a quarter in there. Well, we just thought that was funny that they had those every Chinese restaurant that you would go to. Excuse me. Sorry. Apparently some gum got into my backpack and got on my laptop. When you go into a Chinese restaurant and you see those little quarter things, there's nothing funnier to me. Putting a quarter in one of those little slots. So Ronnie had one of those made with a picture. Oh my God. A picture of me and Tina as saints or maybe religious figures. What else did Ronnie make us? He made us a bucket that said fruit cock, because that was another episode where we talked about fruit cocktail. You got to listen to Slop City. Some people say, hey, it's kind of hard to get into because you guys are just blah, 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 blah. It's kind of like storage, except there's two people. Actually, it's extremely different. I just can't get over this blouse. It is just really cool. Met Ronnie a couple times. I remember the first time I met him. The second time I met him, I believe I was in Cleveland doing a smaller show with Tina, and we got to hang out for a little bit. And then, have I met you 3 times? I guess I didn't meet you this last time. No meet and greets. And as you know, we were not adding any more extra meet and greets. Today, Harold and I said, we're going to wake up early and start doing stuff. Well, we didn't wake up early. We woke up about, 10:30. But one of the things that we wanted to accomplish today was to go to a store that's an 80s store that I've been wanting to go to for about a year and a half here in Denver. And every time I would come out, it never worked because it's closed on like Mondays and Tuesdays. And the days that I was here never worked. So I went today, and guess what, folks? I'm going to show you my haul. First of all, cool bag for 10 cents. Let's start with the smallest. I got a Radio Shack sticker. I thought that was pretty cool, and I'm going to put that on my laptop. Why do I think this is cool? Because this is another one of those things that defined my childhood. If you needed a pack of cassette tapes, where did you go? You went to Radio Shack. If you needed a cord to go from your VCR to your TV, you'd go to Radio Shack. If you needed, any kind of electrical thing. And I believe the very first Mr. Microphone that I had was bought at Radio Shack. And I think maybe they were exclusively sold, ladies and gentlemen, exclusively sold at Radio Shack. Oh, I remember when I would go in there and I would buy things. Because you're always needing some kind of wire, some kind of cassette tape, some kind of little gadget that you can only get at Radio Shack. Because we didn't have a big, run to Walmart and get this little thing. Every time you'd go in there, they'd ask you for your address. And it was literally, I think it was the actual downfall of Radio Shack. If they had stopped asking for people's addresses and phone numbers every time you go up to the counter, I think they may have been able to stay in business. Feel sad that Radio Shack's gone. I don't think this is their actual logo, but it's close enough. Very cute. That was my first purchase. My second purchase, of course, is what's called a New Kids on the Block giant button. Now, on the back here, you can see it has a button thing so that you can affix this to your shirt. I owned this one as a teenager. Not only could you have it as a button, I'm not going to pull it out now because this is in mint condition. You could pull this out and then have it sitting on your nightstand, like so. This, of course, is Joey McIntyre, the youngest member of New Kids on the Block, and at the time, my favorite, because look how freaking cute he is. Adorable. I had one with Joey. I believe I had one that had all 5 of them dressed in tuxedos, because there's nothing better than 5 teenagers in tuxedos. I may have had a Donnie one, and they were available, as far as I know, exclusively at Spencer Gifts. And that's another store. I think Spencer's does still exist. But as a child and a teenager, if you took me to Spencer's, I'm heading straight back to the place where they have the naughty sexual toys. I don't care how old I was. I walked back there and I would do one of these numbers. Acting like I wasn't looking at the dildos. Of course I was. And I think I grew up most of my, teen years thinking that everyone used flavored lube for whatever reason, because Spencer's always had a flavored lube. So I thought that flavored lube for many years was an essential part of everyone's love making. I thought if you were having sex, you had to have flavored lube because it was everywhere. Pineapple, strawberry, mostly strawberry. And I remember one time in my mother's underwear drawer, because I was rascally. I'd go in there and see, what's mom got going on here? Ooh, sexy underwear. Looks like somebody's a maid. Cool. She had flavored lube. So how was I supposed to know that not every love-making encounter didn't involve flavored lube? How am I supposed to know that? I didn't know anything about sex. I hadn't had sex yet. All I knew is that when I was in the back of Spencer's Gift in that little secretive area, there was a lot of flavored lube and a lot of battery-powered toys. And as teenagers, we'd go in there together, knowing darn well what was back there, and just be like, like, what are these things, dude? Where do you put those things? But then you'd walk to the front and get something nice like this, nice and innocent, like a Joey McIntyre gigantic button. And you'd put 2 or 3 of these on your jacket, and you'd be weighed down. You know, you'd be like this. But looking cool because you had your giant buttons. I'm interested to see if anyone else believed in the 90s, late 80s, if you also thought that every sexual encounter required flavored lube. Let me know. Alrighty. I'm going to plug this in because this does work. Also from the 80s store, a Tweety bird clock. I did test the alarm, and it does work. You can see we have Tweety bird in a sort of blanket here, pulled up, and a nest. And the nest is where the actual mechanical parts of the alarm clock are. Really cute, still works, has a spot here for 9-volt battery in case your power goes out. You don't want to be late for school. You kidding me? If your power goes out in the night, this 9-volt battery is going to take over and you're going to be fine. Things were different before iPhones. Before any kind of phone, really. Can't see to put this back in there, but that's okay. Putting it in the wrong way, that's why. Things were different. You had to have one of these. It's called an alarm clock, and you had to set it to the right time like this. You hear that noise, and guess what? If you pass up the number that you want, guess what? You got to go all over again. It's at 8 now. You got to keep going. You got to go around. Not working. It was hard setting an alarm back in the day. Okay, it says 5, and this up here tells you if it's AM. Yeah, AM or PM. Looks like it's 5 AM. So we'd have to then do the number, the minutes, and then you turn on this little thing here in the back, and that tells you that it's on. So you know you're waking up for school. You're telling me, oh, yeah, we have cell phones to wake us up. Guess what? This technology right here is waking you up. I'm going to set it so that you guys can hear the alarm. This item and this item, of course, are going on my storage shelf in my storage unit. Let's set the time. What's the time now, brothers? Time is 8:43. Time. I have to do the hour. See how hard it was to set alarms back in the day? 5, 6, 7, 8, and then I have to put 44. And sometimes if you press it down, it'll go real fast, but that's not the case with this one, so you have to press it over and over again. It's 8:44. I'm going to set the alarm for 8:45. We got to keep pushing. Is this sound bringing anybody back? Good grief. I'm going to set it for 46. All right, it's set and it's ready. And in 2 minutes, this should go off and you should be able to hear it. It says 1996 this was created. I was well into college, but guess what? And when I checked out, they gave me this cute little Power Rangers card. It's a collectible. Don't know anything about Power Rangers, but guess what? Have this cool card. Probably won't keep that. That's probably going to go in the landfill. Then we went next door to another little cute little shop, and I bought this little cat. The reason I bought this cat is simply because of this right here. It says, sassy cat in a dress with hat with sunflower. Doorstop for $20. You're telling me that I'm going to put this in front of a door to stop it? I don't think so. This is going in my storage space and sitting on the back because look at it. You can move her arms up and down because she is sassy. And I even told the man, I go, I'm going to be honest with you, sir. If this didn't say sassy, I would not have bought that. And he goes, well, I often use the word sassy to describe many things in here, and people don't like it. And I told him I loved it. Don't know what that store was called. Maybe I should look it up. Oh, here we go, folks. It's high school morning. It's 1996. You're in high school. It's 7 o'clock in the morning because for some reason, high school, they make you get up extremely early. You're going to be running late. So you have to walk to school because you missed the frickin' bus. And school is 2 miles away. How many times did I do that in my high school years? I'd say probably a total of between 5 to 10. That was back when I could walk 2 miles. Did I like it? No. Did it suck? Yeah, but I had to get to school. Then you have to go in the office like, do you have a note while you're late? I don't, actually, because my mom already went to work. Ugh. No, I don't have a note. I could have stayed. I should have just stayed home. Hated riding the bus. Always sat right in the front like a freaking nerd. Hated riding the bus. I'd get on, I'd walk up the steps, and I'd be like, do not look at anyone because you will get nervous and anxious, and everyone's looking at you and probably going to make fun of you, which they weren't. That's what my brain was telling me, and I'd sit in the very first available seat and talk to the bus driver because that's a freaking nerd.
Hey, Libbie. Jamie here. Dang. Thought I had to fart, but it was a fail. I'll call back. Shit.
I love that Jamie wants to fart so bad and can't. Jamie, eat some beans because everyone knows that beans are the magical fruit. The more you eat, the more you toot. So let's eat beans for every meal. Wait, is that how it goes? Beans, the magical fruit. The more you eat, the more you toot. The better you feel. Is that how does it go? I got to look it up. Beans, the magical fruit. The more you eat, the more you toot, the better you feel. So let's eat beans for every meal. It doesn't seem right. It seems like it's missing one thing. Beans, the magical fruit. Who made that up? God. It's a play. It says beans, the magical fruit is a playground saying and children's song about the capacity for beans to contribute to flatulence. The basis of the song is the high amount of, Suractides present in beans. Bacteria in the large intestines digest these sugars, producing carbon dioxide, hydrogen, and methane. Alrighty. Where are the lyrics? Beans, good for your heart. The more you eat, the more you fart. The more you fart, the more you eat, the more you sit on the toilet seat. This is one that I've never heard. You're telling me I went through my whole childhood and only sang one beans, the magical fruit song? Huh? Beans, good for your heart. The more you eat, the more you fart. The more you fart, the more you eat, the more you sit on the toilet seat. Oh my God. Wow. How come some of these are different? See here in Wikipedia, it has the one that I'm familiar with. Beans, the magical fruit. I'm sorry. I said magical, and it's actually musical. Beans, the musical fruit. The more you eat, the more you toot. The more you toot, the better you feel. So let's have beans for every meal. Alrighty. The musical fruit. I cannot believe that I've been saying beans, the magical fruit, when all along it's beans, a musical fruit. Flatulence humor, more commonly known as fart jokes, refer to any type of joke, practical joke device, or other off-color humor related to flatulence. Wow, I feel very judged by this. I feel very judged by this Wikipedia article about farts. Oh, wow. I tried to click on something and it says your IP address has been blocked from editing Wikipedia. First of all, wasn't trying to edit, guys. Just was accidentally clicked on something. So I don't know why you got me blocked. You blocked my whole IP? Well, guess what? I'm at a hotel. I think maybe I'm using the IP of the hotel. So does that mean everyone in the entire La Quinta Inn is blocked from editing? Guess that's what it means. Okay, see, someone else here says beans, the magical fruit. What I'm discovering is that these ancient heirlooms and these ancient nursery rhymes that are passed down may not always be passed down correctly. And you know that because have you ever played the telephone game where you have to, like, someone will start it and say, the moose is purple. And then the next person has to whisper it, the moose is purple. And then, like, by the third time, it's, your moose knuckle is QWERTY. And then by the time it gets to the other person, it's like, your mom pooped in her pants. And that wasn't the original thing. So I think these nursery rhymes, that's what's happening. We're telling to the children. The children are, of course, fucking them up because children don't know things. They don't remember things. The children are saying, oh, beans, the magical fruit. And then some other people are hearing, beans, the musical fruit. They're not hearing it right. I think what's important to know is that if we want to pass down these beautiful nursery rhymes and heirlooms of nursery rhymes to our children and our ancestors, we need to say the right words. Is it magical or is it musical or is it both? We need a fart historian on this podcast to say, hey, we have evidence of hieroglyphics in pyramids that show people tooting, and it says the beans, a magical fruit, instead of beans, the musical fruit. Because it's not actually, the beans aren't making the noise. It's the people's bottoms that are making the noise. So it makes more sense to call them magical because it is magic. You put a bean in your mouth, it goes through your system, and then all of a sudden your butt is making incredible noises. So, Jamie, maybe you should go ahead and eat some more beans because they are magical. Ladies and gentlemen, looks like we're receiving a message from Chelsea Lidd. What is she sending us? It is a TikTok.
Today I was feeling
at my favorite restaurant that let me use the wheelchair elevator.
I love it. It's everywhere.
I can't really show it to you guys, but and this girl, okay, I don't know this woman, and I'm not a doctor, but I can diagnose her and tell tell you that she most likely does have lipedema. And I can see lipedema a mile away, and I know when someone has it. It's small upper body, larger bottom. We waddle when we walk. But I think that's pretty cool. They let her use the wheelchair elevator. And the reason I think she sent that to me is because the other day at one of the venues, there was one of those wheelchair lifts. And I was very happy because many of these venues are not accessible. And this one was so accessible. It had the wheelchair lift. It had showers with seats in them. It was very nice. But I told her about a time when we were children, and across the street, I can't remember the lady's name, Mrs. Norman, maybe. One of her children was disabled and was in a wheelchair, and on their front porch to get, God, I wish I could remember this kid's name. To get the child up into the house, they had to put him in this wheelchair lift. Now, in the 80s, that was some technology that we hadn't seen before, you know, because that was a big production to have to put that on their house. I would go over there and ask them if I could ride it. Was that okay? I don't know. As a kid, I just wanted to ride it. I wanted to see. I'm not sure why I did that. I just thought it was cool. Now, that's not very nice because that was that child's only way to get into the home, apart from somebody carrying him. And I'm over here saying, hey, would you let me ride that thing? So shout out to my old neighbors. Thanks for letting me ride that thing. I think they let me ride it once or twice. I probably pestered them till they're like, Jesus, just let her freaking ride it. It's like, it goes just right up. And I'd just be looking off the sides like, I get it though. Kids are curious about stuff. They think it's cool. I thought it was cool. I didn't understand, at the time that was probably a huge deal for that family to have that so they could easily get their kiddo inside. Because there was a big flight of steps to get into their home. Man, I wonder what happened to those people. If Sis was here, she'd tell me. And the next time Sis is on here, and I think she'll be on either the next episode or the episode after that, I need to remember to ask her about the people's names and the wheelchair lift. And also, one time I remember we spent the night over there. And I don't know why, and it was very strange, and we were in the attic. Want to ask her about that. Want to ask her about the time that they called the fire department on our home because my dad had put up some extremely red Christmas lights and they thought the house was on fire. Ay, ay, ay. What a wild, wild world. So that's probably why Chelsea was sending that to me, because she thought it was so funny that as a kid I wanted to ride that. And let's check on any more voicemails here. Beans, the magical fruit. All right, here's another call from, this is a different Jamie. What's going on here?
Hi, Libbie. My name is Jamie. I was just watching the episode where you were talking about when you were obsessed with the monkeys and New Kids on the Block and things like that. And I just want to say that I have been obsessed with the band Hanson since 1997. I'm 40 years old. I still go to Hanson concerts. And I just can relate so much to you saying that it's like an escape from life. Hanson has been my drug for a long time, and it makes me get through life, and I appreciate you saying that about yourself, and I'm sure you're not, you learn how to live with life and do things, but Hanson is still the thing for me, but I just want to say I love you and thank you for talking about that. Bye.
Oh, Jamie, I love it. I don't really know much about Hanson. I know there is a overlap with some New Kids on the Block fans that are younger New Kids on the Block fans, probably your age 40, that are also Hanson fans. And Hanson is out there doing it still, as far as I know. And someone last weekend invited me to one of the Hanson guys was having a some kind of party in Dallas, I think, when we were in Dallas. And I was not able to make it, but yeah, that's cool. I'm glad you have that. It sounds like a lot of people, sounds like I'm not the only one that has like an escape like that. That's a celebrity escape or a band escape. It's me. Hi. Speaking of band escapes, would love to see Taylor Swift in concert. Would not love to deal with the traffic to get there, the walking to the seats, the amount of people that are camped outside to hear the show. And I used to do that when I was, let's check here. It's 9:01. We saw that. We can see that on the clock. When I was, in my 20s, I would sit outside of amphitheaters and listen to bands because I was didn't have the money to get in the show. So I get the Taylor Swift fans. And I think they're called Swifties, which is adorable. We listened to a lot of Taylor Swift on the road, and I couldn't have been happier. It's me. Hi. I am the problem. It's me. Oh. Wait a minute. Is this another one? How many Jamies do I know? Oh, that's Jamie trying to fart again. Oh, look at this. Whoa. All right. This is the last voicemail I'm going to play of the day.
Hi, Libbie. This is Tad. Like Todd, but with an A.
Oh!
A lot of people will mispronounce that. I don't know. Do you ever have that problem? People mispronouncing your name? It sucks. Like 90% of the time.
Did you guys just see me get electrocuted?
I wanted to see if you could give a shout out to my wife.
How do I unplug this? I'm scared to death.
Anniversary is May 19th.
I just literally got electrocuted.
16 years.
I don't want to touch that one.
We listen to you guys
I see
all the time. It gets us through our week, and we just really appreciate
if I die,
the free content and the laughs that we get through our week. And
is it off?
If you could give her a shout out, Mindy. I love you.
I gotta pause this. I just got electrocuted because of this this cute little thing I bought. It like electrocuted my arm, but let me make sure it's unplugged before I keep touching it. I look down and it's got open wires. Look at it. It's like somebody chewed it. And it straight up shocked me. It didn't electrocute me because from my understanding, if you get electrocuted, you die. It shocked me. And I'm going to tell you, that was not a good feeling. It went like zzz, right here. And so I'm going to put this in my storage space, but never plug it in again. Can't believe I just got shocked. Let's start this message over again. Sorry. I mean, he was just talking and I was electrocuted. Let's go back.
Give a shout out.
I'm sorry, Tad. Hold on. Let's try this again.
Hi, Libbie. This is Tad. Like Todd, but with an A, and a lot of people will mispronounce that. I don't know. Do you ever have that problem?
Yep.
People mispronouncing your name? It sucks. Like 90% of the time. Anyway, I wanted to see if you could give a shout out to my wife, my lovely wife, on our anniversary is May 19th, 16 years. We listen to you guys all the time. It gets us through our week, and we just really appreciate the free content and the laughs that we get through our week. And just if you could give her a shout out, Mindy, I love you. Happy anniversary. 16 years. Thank you, Libbie. I'm sure you could probably you have Cameo or something, and you'd have everybody calling, wishing happy anniversary, happy birthdays all the time. But we're like dead broke, hence we enjoy the free content. So if you could give a shout out to my wife, Mindy, happy anniversary, May 19th, 16 years. Thank you. Love you, Libbie. Love you, wife. Love you, Mindy. Bye.
Oh, God. Tad. T-A-D. Listen, Tad, I just want to say happy anniversary to you and to your wife, Mindy. 16 years. And when this episode comes out, it will be the 17th. Or no, the 18th. So your anniversary is tomorrow. And I hope you are able to see this before or on your anniversary. And for your anniversary, I would like to say happy anniversary to Tad and Mindy. I hope that you can get some. Let me start over. Happy anniversary to Tad and Mindy. I hope you're able to get some flavored lube and spend the night alone and touch each other's bodies. Yeah, you don't actually have to use the flavored lube, but just have it sitting there just in case you want to. It's May 19th, your anniversary. Tad loves you, Mindy, and I love you both. There was a couple of pitch problems with that song, but overall it was good. I cannot believe I got electrocuted by this. Again, not electrocuted. I got shocked. It was shocking that I got shocked, and I cannot wait to review this footage so I can see if I went like this. Because that's what it felt like. The moment that my arm touched that thing, I felt like my entire body was going. And am I alive now or am I dead? I could have been killed, and I'm in my head, this is heaven, doing this podcast. How will I know? The only way I'll know is if I play one of these sounds. Yep, I'm still alive. Still alive. Dead yet, didn't get electrocuted. It seems like I got shocked. Wow, I got shocked today. I'm having a lot of pitch problems today with my singing, and I don't know what to attribute that to, except maybe, maybe, and I don't even know how to say this, but you know how sometimes when people get shocked by lightning and they come out and they're either extremely smart or they can play the piano or they know a different language. Well, maybe, just maybe, when I got shocked by the Tweety Bird alarm clock from 1996, maybe it took some of my singing ability away. I mean, I don't know, guys. Let's try it again. This is a hard song to sing to. I don't exactly know what key it's in, but I got some pitch problems and some rhythm problems, yeah. No, my singing voice has been taken away by the Tweety Bird clock. And, man, fuck you, Tweety Bird clock. So I'm just gonna end this for the day because I'm pretty upset about how I can no longer sing in pitch. And if I could say one more thing to you, Tweety Bird clock, I wish I never would have bought you. Okay, I wish I never would have bought you. I wish I would have just bought the Joey McIntyre gigantic plate-sized button and the Radio Shack sticker and left you on the shelf for someone else to get shocked by. And you know that's not true, because what if a little child had gotten shocked? They may have never recovered. So I'm glad I can't believe I got shocked by you, Tweety Bird. And if this was my grandpa, if my grandpa was still alive, he would have taken this, where obviously some little rat or mouse has chewed on it, and put black electrical tape over it and called it a day. And plugged it back in and been like, everything's fine. Shout out to Pop Pop. Where's Pop Pop? When you need him for his electrical tape. Alrighty, folks, I'm going to call it a day, and this will be the end of it for today, unless there are some lingering effects of me getting shocked by the Tweety bird clock. Tweety bird, Tweety bird, Tweety bird clock, what did you do to me? Tweety bird clock, you fucked me up. Tweety bird clock, you fucked my life up. I'll never be the same 'cause of Tweety bird clock. I still got it. Did you hear that last part? The first part was terrible. Second part, good. Here we go. Let's do it one more time. Tweety bird clock. Tweety bird, Tweety bird, Tweety bird clock. You shocked me and made me die. I'm still alive, so fuck you, Tweety bird. Alive. That wasn't as good either. But you know what? You can't win them all. And some you win, some you lose. And Tweety bird, shout out to Tweety bird for ruining my life. Just kidding. This is a joke. Don't be upset. Don't send me messages saying everything's fine. You're actually just insane. All right, guys. Love you so much. Thanks for joining me. Next week, I'll be back. That's not true. Next week, I still won't be back in the storage. I think there'll be one more episode before this next one. Stay tuned. Love ya. Goodbye.